international relations, because current affair is most important, as this girl was saying just right now. He has also highlighted Lok Satta and the Hindu as most important newspapers these days, as such. Okay, uh, that's a very good start we have had for the day. That I like these types of interactions early morning. Actually, I wanted to uh, discuss on a major news item, but you'll see how digressions take place. There is so much of information and so much of clutter around us that we tend to get digressed. In fact, I wanted to drive home a point saying, and rather trying to prove how geography is an easy subject. At the same time, it's an important subject as well. What I wanted to start with, and eventually we ended with online and offline news items and newspapers as such. I wanted to ask you all what you have read in the newspapers for the day. If you have, remember my first question for the day, I said, how many of you all read newspapers? And the international news of the day, I would rather say, is of course it has been trailing or trending from yesterday. Is that the announcement of the Nobel Prizes, and you'll see that three different scientists are actually sharing the Nobel for say their research on climate, and that is what I wanted to drive home as a point. Though they are, I think one of them is a physicist. He is working on different patterns of climate, and you'll see that with that regards, students from within Maharashtra will now different parts of Maharashtra, I would rather say, particularly towards the eastern parts of Maharashtra, Vidarbha and Marathwada. We know that these parts of Maharashtra right now are experiencing significant amount of heavy rains, and these rains are not, I would say, monsoonal rains. These are convectional rains. We may go into the details of what convectional rains are, but that's obviously going to be, I think, for the next semester. But what I wanted to drive at is that when you have rains here and rains there, and when you have some hazard or a disaster somewhere, you immediately start focusing on discussing on climate change and so on and so forth. But you'll see that when you come to the basics of climate change and other aspects as such, not many specialized subjects which eventually go on to do these things. Say, for example, physics, and when we speak about pollution, an advanced level of pollution would actually be study of advanced level of pollution would be done by a chemist as such. I would say that in all senses, it's this aspect of all this interrelationship, integrated aspect as such, that I believe makes geography a very smart contender, I would rather say, or a subject which yesterday we saw that Patrick Geddes referred to as mother of all sciences as such. I would not go into claiming and proving how, but I would just give you one example of how geography as a subject is more close to the layman rather than other subjects. Say, for example, now I would give you example from my personal experiences that for that I would like to tell you a few more things about what I have been doing. As I said yesterday, that I have been teaching for the last 26 years, but 15 of these 26 years I was teaching in Mumbai. And for all that time, I used to travel, take the public means of transport, which is more or less a necessity for anyone in Mumbai as such. And I was so habituated to public transport that the moment I shifted to SP College in Pune in 2010, I still continued using public transport. And then you know, or you will know, once we open up after possibly I'm seeing after Diwali, we should be opening up for offline classes as such, that we have bus stops just across the college by the name of SP College bus stop. So I used to stand at these bus stops, and many times you'll see that somebody would drop into conversation while waiting for a bus, that where are you from and what are you doing? And the moment I used to say that I am from SP and I am a teacher there, they would ask me which subject. And the moment I would say that I am teaching geography, uh, I could immediately realize a spark in their eyes, and they would immediately drop into conversations like, why has there been, if it was the present day, they would have been asking me as to why is it raining so heavy in these parts, and so on and so forth. Or it could be some earthquake event somewhere, or some volcano event somewhere, or various other aspects as such. Uh, in that sense, while I speak to you all, a lot of comments regarding newspapers are coming up in the chat boxes, and those interested can visit the chat boxes as such. An interesting comment I saw, and which could be true also, is that even offline newspapers could be biased. Okay, so going back to the fact that dropping into conversations and people asking me questions, right from volcanoes to earthquakes and landslides and heavy rains, and relationship between Afghanistan and India and whatnot. If you keep the geographer in me aside for a moment of time, and I would have said that, okay, I teach physics, I teach mathematics, I teach chemistry. I don't think a person would have dared to ask me, okay, let us discuss, if you are teaching chemistry, can we discuss on the periodic table? Or if it is mathematics, can we discuss on discrete mathematics, and so on and so forth. So what I personally believe is that geography is more nearer to the common man, and he feels so very in tally with with the subject, that I feel that it's the responsibility of us geographers to actually build a link between the higher type of sciences, higher in the sense advanced type of sciences, and bring what they do at a lower level and explain it to the common man as such. So I would say that certainly and definitely is an advantage that geography has over other subjects as such. I would say economics is one more subject wherein it could find a lot of patrons in the common man as well. Okay, anyway, so that's one. I will keep giving you these examples as we proceed ahead, and let's start with what we were doing yesterday. I would rather repeat a few things just in case people have not been there on the class. And as I said, that if you see that I am off my net, you have my phone number, you can please call me. And I suppose Saurabh is going to be the last person I'm going to admit into this, basically because I'm now going to go into a slideshow mode. So those joining later would not be able to join with us as such. Okay, so this is what we started, and these are the various forums at which geography is studied, from a physical level to a human level. And of course, we'll be going into the details, and you will understand the whole, panorama of topics that geography tends to address. I've always believed that it's basically one of those few subjects which actually link the sciences and the humanities. I would say mathematics is one more. Another one, I would say statistics. But you'll see that mathematics and statistics, even mathematicians would agree to that, is basically not a science in itself. It is a method of validation, statistics as well as mathematics as such. So I would say that economics to some extent, and geography is another subject which actually relates the natural sciences to the human sciences as well. We did speak about this guy, Patrick Gates, who said that it's supposed to be the mother of all sciences. And then we went into a very brief but assuring definition as of geography, that it's the study of the earth in space and time. Having said that, yes, we do study planets and asteroids and satellites and other parts of the solar systems, but not to that extent. And as I said yesterday also, that it's I feel it's very unfortunate that we don't go into the details of these more in any other subject, not even in geography. Uh, Other aspects of geography we spoke about is the word spatial. Anything that occupies space needs to be located, and there is where geography starts, the place at which it is placed, and so on and so forth. Then I would say time, the time for which, and of course, both space and time on a scale basis as such, how large or how small, how micro or how macro we are referring to a particular location or an object, or we are referring to the time as such, okay? Whether it is milliseconds, microseconds, or whether it is some billions of years, as we said yesterday, and some few of y'all did rightly point out that the age of the Earth is 4.6 billion years, and when we measure these 4.6 billion years, we put it on what is called as a geological time scale, and we have that as a topic in your syllabus. That's something that we are obviously going to do in times to come. Then I did stop here yesterday saying that I had asked you all to download this if you have your Android phones, that weather and radar. Why should I be having this? You'll see that we as Indians, we are located more around the tropic. It's more or less. You'll see that the Tropic of Cancer passes through the central part of India. You'll see that from Gujarat all the way to through Orissa, and of course I think Mizoram, Tripura, and so on and so forth. It's believed that it nearly divides India into two equal parts. Having said that, there is a lot of variety as far as weather phenomena is concerned. But fortunately, you'll see that these weather phenomena are not that extreme, or I would say that we are more or less habituated to these. So may it be a heat wave or may it be a cold wave, you'll see that it does not impact a lot many Indians. Yes, there have been occasions wherein the heat and the cold waves have got severe, and there have been fatalities. At the same time, something that is happening of late, that we are having heavy showers here and there. Now, wouldn't it be fine that we would have an idea that, okay, I may have rain showers in the afternoon or late in the afternoon, or I may have a very hot day in the offing for in a couple of days, and so on and so forth. Okay, and that's why I believe that every one of us should be, whether you're learning geography or not, you should be having weather and any app. Now, this is basically something that I have been using for at least 5 to 6 years, and I have been working on this in the sense I'm trying to learn a lot of geography out of this, and it has helped me in learning my geography further, and so on and so forth. So having said that, if you compare people from Europe, particularly people from the US and Canada, you'll see that I won't say every, but then majority of the people there, before they venture out for any, even if it is for their regular office work,
Sir,
yeah, please. Yes,
someone
please.
says, please explain in Marathi. Someone says in comment box.
Okay, I will start it in English आणि नंतर थोड्या वेळाने मी मराठीत बोलीन. Please remember that this is a science class and we are supposed to be speaking English. I will try to tone down the accent and try to make it as simple as possible, but it would not be possible to conduct the whole lecture in Marathi. I have a few options for this, but then I will be speaking about it at a later point of time. Let us finish with this first, and then we could discuss on that point as well. That having said this, that if you go to Europe, if you go to the US, people venturing out of their homes for office purpose, particularly weekends, you'll see that they will check for the weather there, because both Europe and North America as continents, and Canada and USA as countries, they are further north as compared to India. And as a consequence, if there is a variation in weather conditions, the extremities could be higher, particularly the cold thing. And of course, we know that the US is known for the tornadoes, etc. So all these extreme events that tend to happen, it would have been wonderful if we tend to know these a bit in advance. And I would say that this, yes, you would argue with me saying that, well, sir, Google also gives us weather reports for day to day. But I would say that Google is more for the common man, and for geographers like us, I would say that this would be something. Of course, you could go into the details of Google, and you could obviously work out a lot of geographical aspects in that also. But I would say that this would be equally interesting. Having said that, This is an interface that I got clicked as a screenshot is concerned last time. And if you see that it's to start with, it shows the place I am located. I just enlarge it here, and you can see that if I'm online, then obviously it shows me the place that I am trying to access the website from. So presently I'm based in Chinchwad, and the temperature at the time when I clicked the screenshot was around 22 degrees centigrade. uh, then you will see that 6.30 with an arrow up, and then 18.09 with an arrow down. And of course, you see a dot there. That's basically the sun. And the arrow up shows the sunrise time. And of course, the arrow down shows the sunset time. And I have done a lot of interesting things out of this. But before I go into that, this magnifier that you see here, this magnifier, if I click that, I could choose other places also, and I have been doing that. And what I have been doing with that will be known in just a small bit of time from right now. You'll see that very recently, that is around 23rd of September. What happened? What geographical phenomena took place on 23rd of September? Can anybody tell me what geographical phenomena took place on 23rd of September?
Meteorite?
No, not meteorite. Okay, I'll give you one more clue. It happens every year on 23rd of September. Every year, 23rd of September.
Is
Okay,
it
I'll give you one.
equinox?
Yeah, yeah. Yes. It was the equinox. And a popular belief says that on the equinox, we tend to have equal day and equal night on every point on the surface of this planet. And we have been learning this for so many years together from school and so on and so forth. But actually, you'll see that if you go to see, it does not happen that way. In fact, I have been tracking these times. And in fact, this one towards the right of your screen, Thiruvananthapuram, it was not on 23rd of September, but it is yesterday and today. 2 days, yesterday and today. You'll see that the sunrise is at 6:10 and sunset is at 6:10 in the evening as well. If you want to do that, if you want to verify that, I would rather say, as I said that earlier also, you go to this magnifier, you click that, and then you type Thiruvananthapuram. And of course, while you are halfway through it, they will start giving you predictive texting, and you can choose Thiruvananthapuram, and immediately your screen will show you the weather conditions in Thiruvananthapuram. And of course, if you mark the sunrise and sunset for today, it would be 6:10. Now, I did this day before for Coimbatore, and a day before that for Shimoga. Shimoga is in Karnataka, and Mangalore as well. You'll see that the days for equal day and equal night were certainly different. And I would say that for Pune, it was 30th of September rather than 23rd of September. I made it a point that from I think first or second of October, I started tracking the places which have had equal day and equal night. So that is how I could go. Now tomorrow, let me tell you, and you could do that as well with me, that I'm going to check the day and night times for Kanyakumari, and I would not be surprised to see that tomorrow it's going to be an equal day and equal night at Kanyakumari. Now, you'll see that if we started somewhere in Dwarka, which is the sort of westernmost point of India, and you're coming south, that I came to Pune, and then I went to Mangalore and Shimoga and Coimbatore and Thiruvananthapuram, and tomorrow we're going to take Karnataka as such. What it indicates is that the equal sun and equal daylight and equal nighttime is shifting south, and of course it may shift further south. We will be tracking that, and I would like to have help from you all just in case. Now it so happened that on 30th of September I got busy and I could not track it for Pune, Very unfortunate, but I could not track it for Pune. So that's why I am discussing with it with y'all, that just in case I tend to miss, someone of y'all curious enough to learn this could do it for the whole group, and you could post the same on the WhatsApp group as well. At the same time, what can be done as an exercise, as an exercise for the day, that right now we are at different places in Maharashtra and beyond Maharashtra as well. Having said that, you could just identify your native place, and you could take a screenshot of the sunrise and the sunset of your native place, and you could post it. Doesn't matter if it's going to be a clutter of information on the group. We could either delete it, or we could switch on the disappearing messages so that it gets deleted automatically as. Now, one more thing that I want you all to observe here is that while I move south, what is happening is that the sunrise and the sunset timing is getting it's getting compressed day by day, and day by day. You'll see that while I was doing it for Mangalore, it was 6:19. It came down to 6:17 while I was in Shimoga, and when I looked for Coimbatore and Thiruvananthapuram, which are more or less nearer to each other, you'll see that it's going to be 6:10. And you'll see that it's such types of logics that we need to learn as students of geographers, rather than just being informed about the say the sunrise and sunset, and the types of regions, and the types of rivers, and the type of mountains, and of course the layers of the atmosphere. Yes, this is something that we are going to do as a part of theory of geography. But then what do we understand after having done all this theory as such? Okay, one observation, once you have all this in front of you, is that you'll see that it will go lesser and lesser and lesser. You'll see that it will be around it will come to around 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock in some time from now. Let me say that possibly tomorrow, when we are going to check for Kanyakumari, and if it's going to be an equal day and equal night at Kanyakumari tomorrow, it could be 6 hours and 8 minutes, or 6 hours and 9 minutes. It could possibly be 6 hours and 7 minutes also. It would be very exciting to see that as such. So in fact, we could take this as a task to identify places right from 23.5 degrees. Now, this is a point of question and quest as to why is it that it would be only till 23.5 degrees north and 23.5 degrees south. Yes, we have learned 23.5 degrees north as the Tropic of Cancer, and we have learned 23.5 degrees south as the Tropic of Capricorn. But what is the geographical implication of that? Two more latitudes, let me tell you, which we normally learn as MCQ questions and just are part of information, but we never tend to go into the details of the geography of it, is the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degrees north and 66.5 degrees south. What is the geography behind it? What is the geometry behind these latitudes being placed at uh, that particular number as such? I would in fact go ahead and say that how many of you all have ever tried to add up 23.5 degrees and 66.5 degrees? You'll see that 23.5 degrees and 66.5 degrees, these both of these prominent latitudes, if you add them up, it gives you 90. So there is going to be certainly some amount of geometry behind this. So you'll see that that's how I would connect to various subjects. If I'm teaching about environment and pollution, I'm connecting to say chemistry. If I'm teaching about landslides, I'm speaking about physics. If I'm say speaking about vegetation and rainfall, I'm trying to put them together. I'm actually relating to botany as well. And when I'm drawing maps, and when I'm doing these latitudes, and when I'm doing these longitudes, I'm actually relating to say the mathematics of it. And if I'm looking at the possibility of a hot day tomorrow, or a cold day tomorrow, or a heavy shower tomorrow, these probabilities are something that I am relating geography with statistics as well. Okay, similarly, I could take a set of subjects from the humanities, like psychology and sociology and history, and others, economics as well. and I could relate geography to that these subjects as well. That makes the worth of geography as a subject much more intense and much more important. Of course, we'll go into the details of these aspects at a later point of time. Since we are with this app, I would further let you know what all is available on this app as such. Okay, I have purposely taken these four screenshots. These are available. Those who have tried to scroll, those who have downloaded this, and those who have tried to scroll it may well be aware of this. But for those who have not done it till now, I would just say that once you open it up, it would look like this. Okay, that I am at Chinchwad, and you'll see that I did this yesterday. So the sunrise is 6:26 and the sunset is much before that, 6 minutes before that, 6:20. That means, what does this indicate again? Have you ever tried to think about it? You'll see that this indicates that the days are getting smaller and the nights start getting longer in at this particular place, but at an point level. And of course, the northern hemisphere is going to have uh, say longer nights and shorter days in days to come. Then you'll see that you see this AQI. Okay, this AQI, it stands for air quality index. What is the amount of impurity of the air? And you'll see that if it's 80, it's satisfactory. It's not good, but that it's satisfactory. Then you'll see that these timings, what is the probable temperature that you would have at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and you'll see that as the sun goes up, the temperature also starts getting up. Then you'll see that while 7 and 8 o'clock, it's going to be cloudy. Around 9 o'clock, the sun will start peeping out of it. As far as these arrows are concerned, you need to switch it on, that feature on. Before that, let me tell you that when you are going to look for this and when you are going to open this app for the first time, they would ask you that whether you would require a premium version of the app. There is no reason to have premium version. Indians can do with advertisements. A non-premium version is basically mixed with advertisements on that, so it hardly matters. Because a premium version, they will charge you some amount for that. Believe me, for the last 8 years, I've been using this app without any charge, and the ads don't matter me much now as such. So that is it. This arrow is basically the wind direction. You'll see that the wind direction changes towards the west as the day climbs up here as such. Then you'll see that this droplet of water, and the percentage is that there is a 10% chance of rain, which increases to 40% by 8 o'clock and stays at 40% at around 9 o'clock as such. Similarly, you'll see that the air quality index, okay, at this particular point of time is 70, and as you go ahead, you'll see that the quality may improve. Now, when I say it may improve, it does not necessarily mean that the pollution levels go down. It's only that the heat of the sun will set up a convectional cycle, and you'll see that the pollutants or the other aspects in the air would get lifted above, and that would give you a sample with lesser amount of pollutants, and we could possibly say that it has come down to 60, from 80 to 70, and then come down to 60 as such. When you scroll further down, this is what you come to. This is the forecast. Now here you will see that it is hour by hour forecast. This was hour by hour. Now you come to the 4 stages of the day:
Excuse
morning,
me, sir.
afternoon. Yes, please.
Sir, I'm seeing that the some arrows are half shaded and some are full shaded and some of them are not shaded. Sir, what that means?
I purposely did not tell you that. I would like you all to go into the details of that. If I share everything with you, then it would not be a point of curiosity. So I'm purposely leaving it. So I want you all to look into this aspect as to what is this half shaded arrow and what is this full shaded arrow as well. Okay, so we move further. When I scroll further down, it gives me the weather forecast for the 4 stages of the day. An interesting and a very comic thing that tends to happen is I see people, I get irritated about it because I am a core geographer to my heart. But then I give the benefit of the doubt to people, the layman, I would rather say. And I would like to mark that with you all. Many a times आपण असं म्हणतो की आजचं क्लायमेट किती भारी आहे ना. actually we are referring to the weather of that particular day, but we are referring to it as as climate. Let me tell you that climate is something which is spread over a longer period of time. The shorter period of that is actually called as weather. So henceforth, anytime you are referring to anything around you, you should be saying that the weather is very hot today, the weather is very cold today, the weather is very I would say humid today. आपण असं म्हणता कामा नये की आजचं क्लायमेट फार हॉट आहे, आजचं क्लायमेट फार कोल्ड आहे. Okay, so that is a correction that I would like to, those who are using the term weather, it's very good, but those who have been using the term climate, please see that we need to change from saying or using the word climate to weather right away from today. Okay, coming to this again, what do you see? See, morning times, 40% of chances of rain. And as he was saying right now, this is a half shaded arrow, this is a half shaded arrow. And then towards evening, you have a no shaded arrow. But with that, you'll see that this is the sun peeping out of the clouds here. And in the afternoon, what is happening is the possibility of rainfall has grown to 80, which stays to around 70 till the evening, and then it would come down back to 40 during night time. And then you see this blazing lightning arrow here, that is basically a thunder. And you see a drop filled with blue color. That means there is a possibility of rain. Of course, I will be sharing with you more and more information. This is just the first things that tend to be seen on the interface of this particular app as such. Now, having seen this, you'll see that again the air quality index, it tends to improve towards the evening once again as such. Then you'll see that below that you are going to have the weather forecast for the coming week. This is today, that is 5th of October, and then that's
Sir,
tomorrow. Yes, please.
there is a 80, 50, 50. What is this? What
I
meaning
told
of
you
this?
this is
Air
AQI, air
quality?
quality index. Yes, yes, that's the air quality index. Okay, it's
Okay,
going
sir.
to improve towards the later part of the week. Okay, so probably
Yeah.
this was Tuesday, 5th of October, obviously was a Tuesday, that was yesterday. And today, this is going to be the scenario. Tomorrow, this is going to be the scenario. What is interesting to note is that you're going to have uh, convectional rainfall continuously, a possibility of convectional rainfall for all these days, yesterday, today, tomorrow. And I want you all to actually visit this app at around 4 o'clock and check the type of weather conditions in different parts of Maharashtra, if not different parts of India. If not, okay, I'll go into the details next time. Then you'll see that this below here, okay, this thing, okay, the sun, and then what is the 6H, 6H, 7H? That means this is going to be the hours of sunshine. This is going to be hours of sunshine. You'll see that in winter, it could be possibly the whole day, but you'll see that in monsoon times, it so happens that the sun could hide behind the clouds, and that is why it is necessary to know how many hours of sunlight we would have. And I would rather say that this is more important with reference to possibly the solar energy that we possibly may need, we would be uh, harnessing from the sun. Then just like we had it here, hour by hour possibility of rain, you'll see that this is the daily possibility of rain. So there is an 80% of chance, there was an 80% chance yesterday, 80% today, and 80% tomorrow also, that this place, Chinchwad, is going to have a convectional rain as such. Okay, if I go further down, this is another interesting aspect that this particular app will give me. Okay, is that it will give me, see, from a day to the phases of the day to the week, and now we come to 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks of time, that's from yesterday to the Monday to come after the coming Monday. Okay, so you'll see that it gives me the highest temperatures of the day, and these could be the lowest temperatures of the day as such. There is a lot of variation in the higher temperatures, and you'll see that the higher temperatures of 32 and 33 for this Tuesday to Friday phase is related to having more hours of sunlight. This dark yellow is sunlight. Here this is going to be convectional rain. Here is, this may not be a convectional rain. Again, this may again not be a convectional rain these 3 days. But these 4 days would be without rain. And the moment you don't have rain, you'll see that the temperatures are rising. So a lot to learn from any of these aspects, and I will of course train you into knowing more details of all these. And as you move further, there is one more interesting thing, that if any say climatic information that you want to pass on to, it's not only one way, it's two way. Okay, if you want to pass on any climatic information, that you see a rainbow around you and you want to click it off and you want to let these people know, you'll see you have an option. You click the camera here, and you'll see that then you could actually click the rain falling, or you could click the rainfall, or you could click any geographic phenomena, and you could post it to these people. And of course, this is their so to say their URL, weatherandradar.co.uk. This is of course UK based. Okay, we could have, let me tell you that you could have a number of these things, different types of so to say weather apps. Because I have been working on this, I did not choose this. It so happened that it came up on Google 6-7 years ago, and then I downloaded it on my Android, and since then I have been following it. And there are a few more interesting things that I tend to do with this, that would be taken up when we meet for our lecture next time. That's going to be the coming Tuesday again, because Monday we would not be having our lecture. I am going to have a counseling admission round for FYBA, and since I'm in charge of FYBA admissions, I would be busy there the coming Monday. So this Monday, let me announce it right away. Of course, I will be posting it on the group as well, that this Monday you will not have lectures of geography. I am not commenting on other. You will not have your geography lecture. Tomorrow onwards, you will have your paper 2 lectures. Paper 2 deals more with human geography. I will go into the details of that, of what physical geography means, what human geography means in time to come. For now, that's all for today. These are a few
Sir,
things. Yes, please.
sir, will you be teaching us the second part, like the second,
No,
like you
there
said?
is no. The second paper will be taken up by Professor Sushil Tigre, who is in charge of paper 2. I will be doing paper 1 with you all. If, of course, if you have queries with that, I'm always available, but that is provided I finish my syllabus, because I have so many things beyond the syllabi to discuss with you all, that it invariably happens that I fall short of time for my syllabus. But yes, we can decide a time and we can meet on a Google Meet at some point of time, and we can discuss other aspects also in case you have difficulties in other topics of geography as well. Okay, for now, I will stop sharing, and I want you all to just put in your names for the purpose of attendance in the chat box. Is something that you can start doing, because we are nearing the end of our lecture. And if you have any queries with what we have done today, of course, you would say that we did nothing as far as the syllabus is concerned, but believe me, we are doing a lot many things. At the latter end, you will realize that, okay, this part of the syllabus was related to this part that he was discussing with regards to the weather phenomena and so on and so forth. Sandeep has a query for us. Yes, Sandeep, go ahead. संदीप चव्हाण, प्रश्न आहे काही? हो, संदीप चव्हाण, go ahead. You unmute yourself first and then ask me what issues you have. Unmute करा स्वतःला. Unmute करा स्वतःला, संदीप चव्हाण, आणि मग प्रश्न विचारा. Yes, by that time, anybody else having any questions, you could let me know. And those who have
Sir,
marked their
Chetna here.
attendance, just a moment. Those who have marked their attendance can leave for the next lecture. Others can hold back and ask their questions if you have any. Yes, Chetana, go ahead.
Sir, which book should we prefer for this?
Don't worry. I will let you know. की अजून तर मी सुरुवात केली नाही सिलेबसला, एवढी काय घाई आहे? निवांत करूयात सगळं.
Okay, sir.
वी आर गोइंग टू एन्जॉय आवर सब्जेक्ट. आपण घाई करायची नाहीये, उगाच भीती वाटून घ्यायची नाहीये कुठे. वी आर गोइंग टू डू एव्हरीथिंग, आणि प्रत्येक गोष्ट होणार आहे. हळूहळू करूयात. जस्ट आज दुसराच दिवस आहे आपला, भरपूर दिवस आहेत आपल्याकडे. डोंट वरी, आय विल गिव्ह यू द नेम्स.
Thank you, sir.
Can I
Yes, if
leave
you,
lecture, sir?
yes. Those who have finished and posted their attendance can leave the lecture, please.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. हॅव अ गुड डे.
Thank you, sir.
या, थँक्यू.
Have a good day, sir.
थँक्यू, सेम टू यू.
सर
येस, कोण आहे?
ज्यावेळेस आपले ऑफलाईन कॉलेज चालू होतील
होय.
त्यावेळेस हा जो भाग शिकवलेला आहे त्यावेळेस थोडासा रिपीट होईल का?
आपण बघू ना, रिक्वायरमेंट प्रमाणे. बहुतेक मुलं जर म्हटली की सर हे पटकन एकदा रिवाईज करा, तर करूयात, काय हरकत नाही.
म्हणजे सर
अजून
ऑनलाईन
तर मी काही थिअरी घेतलीच नाहीये तुमची, अजून तर काही घेतलेलीच नाहीये, पण जी घेणार आहोत ती करूयात, पटापट रिवाईज करू, नो इश्यूज. तुमचा काय इश्यू आहे?
म्हणजे सर जास्त इंग्लिश समजत नाहीये मला. म्हणजे माझं पहिले एक शिक्षण जे आहे ना इंग्लिशमध्ये झालेलं नाही जास्त. हॅलो. हॅलो. हॅलो.
हॅलो, हा, येते का ऐकू?
हा, आता येते सर.
हां, तर मी एक दोन येत्या दिवसात अनाउन्स करीन ग्रुपवर, की जर तुम्हाला वेगळा मराठीसाठी ग्रुप करून हवा असेल, तर आपण निश्चित करूयात. पण होतं काय, की मुलं काही जॉइन होत नाहीत आणि नंतर तीच मुलं अजिबात लक्ष देत नाहीत. त्याच्यामुळं मग साधारण मी मागच्या महिन्यात 1-1.5 महिना केला हा प्रयोग, पण त्याच्यानंतर कुणीच जॉइन होईना. मग तो सगळा ग्रुप फिज आउट झाला. तर तुम्हाला खरंच गरज असेल, हवं असेल, अ, तर सुरुवातीला तर निश्चित आपण थोडंसं
सर
आठवड्यातनं एकदा एक
सर तो
लेक्चर
मिक्स
मराठीमध्ये
लँग्वेज
देऊ
मध्ये
शकतो.
शिकवत जा. सर
आता
मिक्स
कसं
लँग्वेज
होतं, की
मध्ये शिकवू शकता.
हे जास्त वेळेस मी तो प्रयत्न करतो. पण कसं होतं, की सायन्स हे इंग्लिशमध्ये शिकवलं जाणं अपेक्षित आहे. तर त्या अनुषंगाने मी जास्त सायन्स इंग्लिशमध्ये बोलतो. पण बऱ्याच वेळेस आता कसं हे सुरुवातीचे लेक्चर्स आहेत, पण नॉर्मली मी अ, मराठीमध्येही ते घेतो.
सर कोणतं बुक रेफर करायचे मग गुगलसाठी?
सांगतो. आत्ता काय घाई नाहीये.
आणि सर सब्जेक्ट पण चेंज करायचे मला.
कुठला सब्जेक्ट चेंज करायचा आहे?
काल बोललेलो ना सर मी मॅथ्स
हां, हां,
चेंज
हां, हां.
करायचं.
ओके. मी बोललोय सरांशी. तर
हो,
सर म्हटले मी सांगतो. तुम्ही पण सरांशी कॉन्टॅक्ट करा पाहिजे.
केलाय ना सर. त्यांनी अजून फोन पण उचलला नाही माझा.
मेसेज टाकायचा रे बाळा. व्हाईस प्रिन्सिपल
मेसेज
माणूस आपला सगळ्यांचा फोन उचलेल, तर त्यांनी त्याची स्वतःची कामं कधी करायची? मेसेज टाकून
नाही
ठेवायचा.
मेसेज पण
देवणे
केलेला आहे.
सरांशी देवणे सरांशी बोललोय म्हणावं. देवणे सर तुमच्याशी काल बोललेले आहेत. ती केस आहे म्हणावं. मला मॅथ्स सोडायचं. सॉरी. 1 मिनिटं. मी बोललो, आत्ता माझ्या लक्षात आलं, की सर म्हटले स्टॅटिस्टिक्सला नाही मिळणार ॲडमिशन. मॅथ्स कंटिन्यू करावं लागेल. स्टॅट सोडून दुसरा विषय हवा असेल तर, पण स्टॅटिस्टिक्सला आधीच गर्दी झालेली आहे. मॅथ्स सोडता येणार नाही. त्याला म्हणावं, सर म्हटले, की त्याला दुसरा विषय हवा असेल तर तो घेऊ शकतो. स्टॅट्सला त्यांचा कोटा फुल झालेला आहे. असा सरांचा निरोप आहे. तेच मी विचार करत होतो, की आमचं नेमकं काय बोलणं झालं.
ठीक
तर तुला मॅथेमॅटिक्स कंटिन्यू करावं लागेल. नाहीतर मग स्टॅट सोडून दुसरा कुठलातरी विषय घे.
ठीक
ठीक आहे?
ठीक.
करूयात बंद?
सर बुक कोणतं रेफर करायचं?
सांगतो ना बाळा, कशाची घाई रे लहान पोरासारखी.